Now, we all know what happened on 9/11. It was one of the darkest days in American history. But, my friends, assaults on our safety does not justify assaults by the government on our freedom.
America, for some reason, has allowed this coup d'etat to take place, a silent coup d'etat.
Jail isn't the only thing Americans abroad have to fear. It's also death, in some cases by their own government.
A coup has taken place, and people need to know how to fight back.
It is the duty of the people to alter or abolish a government that violates our rights.
We have to wake up. On October 1st, the 1st Brigade of the 3rd Infantry Division was deployed in the United States of America. For the first time since 1807, when a bright line was placed preventing military from policing American streets, a military brigade that's 3,000 to 4,000 soldiers has been brought in to police our streets. Army Times reported it. And you can say, well, it's America. It's America. We have civilian law. The president and his lawyers have successfully established a legal claim for the war on terror that the whole world is a battlefield. And so the whole world, you can call someone an enemy combatant and detain them, disappear them, even torture them.
So you've said that U.S. President Obama is continuing Bush-era policies and that the United States is essentially a police state. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Well, yes. We have this case of Afia Siddiqui, who is an American citizen who was kidnapped and held in the Bagram military base in Afghanistan for 5 years, secretly tortured, denied all her constitutional rights. The whole thing was totally outside all known American law.
We believe, many human rights activists believe, that her 2 children who are still missing are still in U.S. custody somewhere.
And now we've had Dennis Blair, the head of national intelligence, announce that the United States government has a list of Americans that it will assassinate abroad.
The Obama administration is continuing a policy implemented by President George W. Bush that targets American citizens who are associated with terrorist groups abroad. The policy allows U.S. troops to capture and even kill Americans who are deemed a national threat.
So the government has announced it's going to kill its own citizens without arrest, without trial, without conviction of a capital crime. It's just going to shoot them down somewhere.
If the whole world is a battlefield and there are troops on the ground in America, how is America not a battlefield legally?
These two things together are the definition of a police state.
And if the whole world is a battlefield and there are troops on the ground in America, how does military law not supersede civilian law?
We have a number of constitutional scholars in our most distinguished law schools who have said that these proposals not only are totally illegal under American law, but constitute war crimes under the Geneva Conventions.
Now, why am I terrified by these troops? Why should I not be reassured that, oh, these are our guys and it's America? Here's why. If you look at the history of closing societies, what starts to happen, this happened in Italy in 1920, it happened in Germany in 1933. What starts to happen is it'll still be a democracy, but the president or the leader or the Führer will start to find a way to deploy military forces at his discretion. These soldiers are not answerable to the Congress of the United States. Why is it so terrifying that their mission is crowd control? They're going to use the same technologies of crowd control they used in Iraq, according to Army Times.
If you remain in this immediate vicinity, you will be in violation of the Pennsylvania Crimes Code, no matter what your purpose is.
Look, this whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce. It's very difficult to say it out loud because people are intimidated against saying it. Because if you say it, they want to make you into a nutcase. The fact of the matter happens to be that the whole war on terror is a fraud. It's a farce to perpetuate with fear of the American people and to subordinating themselves to anything the government wants them to do.
The pattern is once you yield, this is exactly like Mussolini. Mussolini did exactly this in 1920 with Parliament. Once you yield to the first threat, instead of arresting the leader who has staged a coup, you see more and more and more serious incursions.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its maximum hour of danger. You are that generation. This is your role. Freedom must be defended from every assailant in every corner of this country, from outside the country, from inside the country, and especially from the government that wants to take it away from us.